So this is Dominique Dates L.A, which coincides with the YouTube channel, and this will be the podcast version of the talk show. So this month I'm doing a 30-day challenge, and for that 30-day challenge, I will be going out with 30 guys in 30 days in the month of November. I will be sharing all the stories, all the tips and tricks that I learned from my dates with you. So today I have a guest by the name of
Miles,
Hi. Who is here to listen to my story and give some good feedback and hopefully some good tips as to what might have went wrong or what might have went right. But as far as I know, or as far as I've experienced, dating in LA is extremely rough.
Yes.
It is tough out there.
It is.
Yes, it's crazy. So I wanted to share this date that I went on with you. So the date is actually I had gone on a date with a guy, and this guy, I was talking to him on a dating app, and he asked me to go to a restaurant with him to get tacos and margaritas. And because I love tacos and margaritas, I was like, hells yes, I'll go on that date with you. And so then he messaged me a restaurant, and the restaurant was like a chain restaurant in the valley. And I looked up the directions to the restaurant, and it was like a 40-minute drive, and I was like, well, that definitely is not gonna work. And so then I messaged him, and I was like, no, that's okay, I'm not gonna do it. So then he messaged me back, and he's like, oh, let's try this different restaurant instead. And so the restaurant was Cabo Cantina, which anybody who lives in Los Angeles knows about Cabo Cantina. The times at Cabo. And so I went ahead and I said, yeah, they have tacos, they have margaritas, that's cool, let's go there. So I went to Cabo Cantina, and I was sitting there, and he finally arrived.
Did you have drinks before?
I did not have a drink. I waited for him because I was about to buy a drink, and the waitress came over, and she explained to me that the only drink that they had, well, they have multiple drinks, but the best priced drink for your buck was going to be a margarita that has about 4 shots of tequila in it. And so I could either get a huge margarita glass with 4 shots in it, or I could get a small margarita for the same price. And so I was just when she told me that, I was just like, well, I think I'll just wait and see what happens. So I just waited for him to arrive. And once he arrived, again, the waitress came over, and she was like, we have the huge margarita, which holds about 4 shots of tequila.
I feel like I've had that margarita before.
I'm sure you have. Everybody has.
I don't remember. But.
Exactly. The point of the margarita. And so he was like, oh yeah, let's do that. Let's get the big margarita. And I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. I just met you. I'm not cool with that.
He's like, let's get drunk right away so we don't get to know each other.
Exactly. And I was just like, that's not happening tonight. So instead, I suggested we go across the street. And I didn't state this, but the date we were supposed to be getting, well, I did state this kind of, because we were supposed to be getting tacos. So basically we were supposed to be getting dinner, right? So instead I was just like, okay, I'll forfeit dinner. Let's just go get drinks and see if this is anything. So we went across the street. We got 2 drinks, and then basically he talked about himself the whole time.
Were you hungry?
I wasn't really, and so I think that's why I was okay with forfeiting the food.
So, when he first saw you, how was your first initial, when you were taking each other in the first time you saw each other?
It was, weird. Okay, so when he walked into the restaurant, he looked around. Okay. There was nobody in the restaurant. He looked around as to to see if he could find me, but there was nobody in the restaurant. It was really weird. And so finally I was just like, hey, I'm over here. And so then he found me, and it was just we did a quick hug, and
And he's like,
that
straight
was
to
end
the
of it.
drinks.
Yeah, straight to the drinks.
He's like, I just want to get drunk and bone you.
Yes, it was like, it was weird. I don't get it.
So when you moved to the new place and he was just talking about himself, was he nervous or like...
He probably was a little nervous because we only had one drink, and he probably was expecting to have like 4 drinks.
Yeah, because that big margarita.
Yeah, 4 drinks like very quickly, but that was not what I was planning for the night. So, yeah, well, okay, I didn't like finish the story.
Oh.
Because, so we had drinks there, and then like he was saying that he had been in Los Angeles for like 5 years, but he had rarely ever been to Sunset. So I was like, oh, I'm going to show you Saddle Ranch, because that is a place that I feel like everybody should go to at least once in their life, and maybe ride a bull or get an Adios motherfucker or something.
Yeah, it's kind of like where it's like kind of a Sunset Strip.
Yeah, like
icon.
staple, right? And so... we ended up going over to Saddle Ranch, and there we sat down at the bar, and the bartender asked if we wanted drinks. And so he was like, yeah, let's get drinks. And I was like, okay, let's go ahead and get a drink. The bartender asked us if we wanted the large one or the small one. And so he like immediately got really excited, and he's like, the large one, yeah, let's get the large one of like, I think it was a beer or something like that. And so the bartender brought us over 2 large beers, and then the bartender asked for a card for the tab.
Oh,
and
no.
so I sat there for a second. I was like, okay. And he didn't do anything, so I went ahead and I pulled out my card, not thinking that he would be, I don't know, that he wouldn't even like flinch at his card or anything. Oh. And so I went ahead and gave him my card, and then we finished our beers, and then it came time to close the tab, and guess what?
He didn't.
Nope.
He's just like, thanks for the drink.
Yes. So I ended up getting the second round of drinks. And
what?
Yes.
I would have been out of there like after the first one.
I totally should have. I'm too nice with my dating. I don't understand.
Well, I guess I am too. I don't know.
But after that, so I was like ready to go, but then at the same time, I think like somebody was on the bull or something like that. So he was like, he had started cuddling up to me. And then next thing I know, like his tongue was down my mouth.
Oh, he's like, I got to show this girl what she's buying.
Yes. But it was like totally unsolicited. Like, oh my God. I can't imagine like seeing that in public, because like literally like I was just a stone, like literally a statue, and like this guy is just like shoving his tongue down my mouth, and like, oh God.
I think there's a lot of guys like that in LA
who don't get a hint, like don't like understand body language.
I've known straight guys that like will just go on dates to get things paid for, just like, you know, young girls do. You know, they're like, oh, but it's like they want like a drink and a meal, so they'll go out on a date.
Yeah.
I think that's what people are using these apps for sometimes.
To go on a date.
Just to get fed.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. But like not like make out like, never mind. That's another subject.
He probably wanted to like, you know, be like, I'm so thankful for the drink.
Oh,
but
maybe.
That just is like weird, right? I don't know. Is it?
I didn't even think about that. Like maybe that was his way of thanking me. But like at the same time, you like lead into that. You get a little bit closer. You like look into each other's eyes. You make it a little romantic, and then you like try and kiss them. But you don't just like open your mouth and like shove your tongue down somebody's throat. Or like a kiss on the cheek or something, like not a whole tongue down your throat.
Maybe he was like super attracted to you.
Well,
but then it's like he has the emotional development of like a 13-year-old boy. Then.
That's basically what I want to say. And what's sad, well, I mean, it's not sad, but like he didn't seem like he did, but at the end of the day, it kind of felt like he did. So at the end of the day, that guy is not getting another date.
How did the date end?
Me pushing him off of me and then going outside to get an Uber. Like, that's how it ended. So
I wonder what people think, though. Like, oh, darn, that didn't work this time. Maybe it'll work next time.
I don't know.
Because, like, when did that ever work for him, I wonder?
Right? And, like, he should have figured it out by now, I feel like. But
that's too bad.
Strange.
Well, I hope the rest of your dates go better.
Thanks. Me too. Hope nobody tries to do that ever again.
I think you're down
so
for
awkward.
some, like, interesting experiences, though.
Yeah, I do too. I think that there are some amazing people out there to meet, and I'm excited to meet them. I just hope that they're on the better side versus the worse side.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear. I hope something goes well because I guess we'll get a nice gauge of like a percentage of like dateable guys in LA.
Yeah, I'm hoping that there are a variety of dateable guys that will just stick out and be freaking awesome.
I mean, they have to exist.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed, but that is exactly what this show is about. So we will see. I'm dating everybody so that other people don't have to.
Someone's got to do it. Be strong.
Somebody does. Let that be me. Okay, well, that will sum up our show today.
Awesome.
But stick around because we have some amazing stories to tell. And yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you. And comment below. We would love to hear back from you to know what you think about the show. So, bye.
Bye.